Hey there, viewers. Let's do it. Let's get to it. We'll pull the engine on this 2009 Chevy HHR. First things first, battery. So I'm on the back of the vehicle, and the battery is back here. This one's already disconnected. Okay, let's get started with some of the obvious stuff. Let's get this portion of the intake manifold off. Looks like I can get away with just leaving the oil cap in there. These look like pull. Yep, that's right. So these are just socks. There's a pipe over here. I'll get you an angle of that pipe. Oh, come on. So this guy right here, that just pulls out. There's nothing securing that really. Come on, there we go. There's nothing securing that in here, so that just pulls out. These two back here, looks like right at this portion, and there's another one on the other side right there, and those are just the force them out, and they'll come out. There's no screws or nothing like that. Okay, so it looks like once we do that, then we can remove, looks like this intake pipe, and there's a mass airflow sensor connector right here. You just press down on this tab and pull, and your mass airflow sensor connector should remove. Let me get you a size on that hose clamp, and we'll get that clamp removed. Yeah. Let's see. So we got number 8 here. That's gonna be this guy right here, right on the hose clamp. Let's get that off. We should be able to loosen that up and get this plastic piece off. Yep, there we go. And that's it. That'll do it for that. Set that to the side. Don't just throw it, because the mass airflow sensor. There I go, about to drop it. The mass airflow sensor is in here, so don't just toss this aside. That's the mass airflow sensor. Not something you want to pay for if you don't have to. Okay, let's see what we got next. Yeah, it is hot out here, huh? You guys heading out?
It's bigger than that blue one.
Gonna go get those school supplies?
Wait, is that a camera?
It is a camera. What? Run, Kelly, run!
Are you corner video, Daddy?
Yeah. I'm trying to hopefully make people's lives easier. We'll see how it goes.
Bye, Daddy.
Bye, son. Make good choices.
Don't you get blood. Daddy, put some gloves on.
Oh, you're right. I should wear gloves. I am terrible at that. You're not wrong, kid. You're not wrong. Anyways, I was about to tell you guys about this funny little screwdriver. As you can see, that is the Harbor Freight brand. You can't buy the super expensive one. I wouldn't. As you can see, this one gets these off just fine. I mean, if you have your own screwdriver method or picks and you know how to do it, then stick to that. You ain't got to use this tool. Me, I love this tool. Let me pause that while that car pulls out. Okay, 7 mil. That's that same number 7 I used earlier, by the way. Number 7. Okay, now can we get this out of the way? Yes, we can. That does not want to go, does it? What is that, another one? Okay, so I ended up using 2 hands and using a little force pull. It looked like this guy up here was way in there somewhere. I don't know where it was, but I'll look at that later. Anyways, I was able to get that out. Moving on. Okay, so this belt tensioner has got to be probably one of the worst ones I've ever seen. You try to fit a regular ratchet in here and it's damn near impossible. You probably have to get the specialized ratchets that has like the wrench that wraps around. I don't have those. I just have the traditional ratchets. I did buy this tool, this like serpentine belt tool. The problem is when I get it in here, it doesn't give me leeway to loosen it. I can tighten the belt more, which is you know, we need the opposite right now. We need to loosen it. So probably what I'm going to do is I'm going to just slide this off for now, and I'll probably go get a shorter version of these so I can have leeway, or a ratcheting one, or whatever. I'll go buy that special tool later. There are tutorials on YouTube on how to get this belt off, all sorts of funny methods and special tools. So if you do that, I suppose I can't be mad at you. Oh, that was a lot more dust and stuff than I expected there. But at least for now, that belt is off, and I can start getting these accessories off. I know that is not the most preferable method to get the belt off, especially when you want to put one on. Like I said, I'll probably end up getting a special tool for that later, but at least for now, mission accomplished. Okay, now we got the belt off. We're gonna get the compressor loose. Let's start by removing the electrical connectors. This looks like a AC refrigerant pressure line. So this clip piece goes up first, just like you see how that's flexing up, and then you'll be able to pull this out of that connector right here. So that's why are we losing focus here? What's going on? There we go. So this is up and out. Oh, dropped a little something there. I'll pick that up here in a second. Okay, and then this guy up here. So these need to butterfly out. So this goes out this way, and this guy goes out that way, and then you'll be able to pull this out. So this should be it for the 2 AC electrical connections. Now let's go for the mounting bolts. So here's one of them right here. Let me get you guys a size. So there are 3 of them, and they are a, oh, it's probably too close for the camera to focus, 13. It's actually a pretty good angle right here to get that 3rd one. So let me get it. Oh, come on. Whoa, no, you don't. I don't know what I was trying to get it on, but it wasn't on that one. Anyways, there's one up there. So there's this guy right here. And then the last one is behind it. There it is right there. Let me get the bolt on it, or the socket, sorry. Socket on the bolt. So there you go. So it's 1, 2, and then the 3rd one is behind it. That one we're looking at right there, that's actually, this one's an alternator one, but right below it, right in here, right in this area, there's that 3rd one. There we go, there's my finger on it. There's that 3rd one. So you got those 3 loose, and this air compressor, you should be able to just dangle it off to the side without recovering the system. Okay, so here's that 3rd bolt up there, the one that my finger's tapping on. So remember, the one right above that, that's the alternator bolt. So unless you want to remove the alternator, leave that one alone. So this is where it's at. So there's 1. Here's 2. Let's go for that 3rd one right here. That's got it mostly loose there. Oops, sorry, just covered the camera there, all crazy. So there's number 3. I'll finish getting this one, and you'll see. I'll set the compressor aside for you guys here. Okay, with that 3rd one all the way out, you can see it's now separated from the block. Okay, don't forget that third one on top. And now we should be all done, in theory, should be all done with the air compressor. All right, let's see what we got next. Okay, I'm here on the bottom passenger side. You see I'm slowly but surely draining the coolant. But right here, right behind this corner right here is the petcock. I know, I always thought that was such a strange word. See my hand going in there? I'll remove it just so you can see what it looks like. I don't know if it's the same on all these radiators, but oh, come on, dummy, why are you tightening that up? There we go. And you can see the coolant flow increased. So that's what I was turning on right there, is facing inward this way. But once you pull that, you should be able to drain coolant, antifreeze. I'm just gonna let that drain there, and we'll be right back. Okay, now we've got all that coolant out of there. Hopefully, there should be just a few drops there, nothing crazy. Let's start getting the hoses here that lead to the coolant system. That way we're not ripping up any hoses. Okay. Me personally, I throw these clamps away. I've seen some people reuse them. I usually have bad results when I reuse these style of hose clamps. So you do what you got to do. You stick to your method. Do what you need to do. But me personally, I will be discarding all these. All right, next clamp. Okay, let's get you guys a better visibility on the hose clamp that's on this side. Yeah, it'll give me more working room anyway, so I don't mind. There we go. Special little tool in. I think I mentioned it earlier in the video, but go to Harbor Freight and get some of these. They're awesome. They do have the ones that are smaller gap here. I lost / misplaced mine, so I probably have to go give me a new one. Get another one. Oh, got some plastic here coming off. All right, cool. Oh, that's broken. Yay, nice. Whatever. Okay. And then let's get this connector here. Looks like some evap stuff. So this is just this tab here. Pulled down on this tab the way this is. So down on the tab, and this will come out. And then it should give us a little more visibility for the hose clamp that I'm going for right here. Ooh, looks a little dark on camera, it looks like. Let's get some light in here. Bam. It covers the lens with the flashlight. That's funny. Okay, there we go. So now we're going for this guy right here. Tight. Okay, we got this guy off. You can see that hose there on the bottom of the screen. Now we're gonna go for this guy right here. It's one of the heater core hoses. Now you don't have to disconnect it here. You can disconnect it at the firewall. There we go, right up here. You can disconnect it right up here. There's two of them, or I choose to disconnect them here at the block. This hose clamp tool I'm using, by the way, is super amazing, super helpful. Once I grip that, look at that, I can just let go. I have both hands free, and this thing maintains the grip, the whatever you want to call it. It maintains it for me, so I'm free to move the clamp out of the way, and I don't need extra help, extra hands, nothing crazy like that. This is, if you don't have this tool, I highly recommend you get one. If you're gonna if you're gonna remotely do any of these jobs, I highly encourage that tool. Okay, and I think it's the last coolant hose. Don't quote me on that just yet. But the other one is right next to the one we just took off. So just take this one off. We're gonna get this guy off. That should be the other heater core horse. Yeah. All right. Let me discard this hose clamp, and we'll get the other hose, not horse. Uh-oh. The tool slipped. She failed me. Just extra wet in this area, and I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna power through all the moist. I just needed an excuse to use the word moist. Yeah, there we go. Okay. I see what's going on. Let me go up with it. Make like this one more time. Nope, I think that's max for the tool. That's more than enough. You can see that clamp is loose. Oh, and so's the tool. Haha, victory. Victory minus. Oh, well, these are a little more caked on there. So the struggle is real for some of these. Those other hoses came off pretty easy, but these guys, they just want to fight to the end. Looks like we got a engine coolant temperature sensor. I could be wrong, don't quote me on that, but this guy right here that I'm tapping on, I'm gonna disconnect that while we're here before I forget. There we go. And this guy has this, oh, am I covering the flashlight? Yes, I am. There we go. So this tab just pulls down, and then you can pull this out. Or up, I guess, depending on what angle you're pulling this out from. Okay. Okay, time to start the part that I get least excited about. It's electrical. Thankfully, these, this is just a press down and pull out. Thankfully, most of these clips have been forgiving. Can't tell you how many cars I've worked on where as soon as I touch the clip, the plastic is so brittle, it starts to just break and disintegrate and crack and give me all these trouble. You know, these are for emission coils. Got something going on back here. What is that? It looks like a speed sensor for the transmission, maybe. I don't know. What else we got here? We can change angles here. Yeah, I've been semi-lucky. Oh, looks like those are pinch and remove. Just get a little pinch going there. Depending on how annoying your plastic is, you might have to use just regular pliers to pinch these little plastic connectors off. Let's see, what do I got here? Fuel injectors. Fuel injectors. All right, let's see if I can do this with minimal damage. No guarantees, no promises. Okay, for the fuel injector connectors, you got to find this little white clip, and that's going to come out first. So slide that out. Once you slide this out a little, then you're able to release the latch mechanism where you can press down and then pull out the injector at the same time as you're pressing this down. But without this little security clip out, you're not going to be able to press down. And I suppose you can yoink it out and break the plastic, but you know, that's your decision. But yeah, so pull this out, push down, and while you're pressing down, new word, pushing, pull this out. So do four injectors. 1, 2, 3, and 4. All right, let me see if I can at least catch one of these live. This is the last one on the end. So there we go. So slide that out, and then I can press down on the latch, and then you can pull up, and then I can pull out. Pull out, pull out. And while we're in this vicinity, looks like there's a map sensor here. Is that gonna let me press down and come out easily? Or are you gonna fight me to the end? There we go. Wow. You hear that snap? There we go. And looks like a little evap hose going. Let's see here. What we got there? Oh, so we got a little slide piece over here. Yep, that slid over. Okay, cool. So this piece right here slides over, and then you can pull this out when you slide this over. At least that's how I did it. Hopefully that was the right way. Looks like it was. Okay, come back around to this side. Oh man, I was hoping that was way more sturdy than that. Okay, so looks like we got another security clip on this guy. If I can get that out without breaking anything. Yeah, it's the same connector I was just messing with. Let me give you guys this angle here so I can kind of explain. So this white part does come down, out, similar to the fuel injector clips, and then you can press on the black part in between the two little gray spots right here, or white spots. So once this slides out, and as you can see, I used the little screwdriver tool thing. Then you press down, and this connector will come out. Okay, let me get that out of the way. Nope, broke that one. Damn it. This looked like it was not meant to pull that out. I think it was meant to break this and just put a new zip tie through here. I'm gonna have to watch out for more of those. Oh well, that's broke. Let's see. So I can get most of that stuff out the way. And this one isn't coming because that is still secured down there. Okay. Yep. That's how that goes. Cool, cool. Oh, look at that. Fuel injector harness is all one. It was all one piece. Cool. That's good to know. Oh, shit! Showing you guys this throttle body one. It would have been super helpful. So you can see the fuel injector end, because this is exactly that same style connector that's on there. Okay, there we go. Got that out. You can press down on this guy. In theory. Oh, fantastic. Let's break stuff on camera. Oh, there was that clip I was hoping for. Now I gotta look for that security piece. Okay, back under the driver's side here. This connector here, same style as that throttle body and fuel injector connector, but this harness here goes up to the coil connections. So we gotta get this loose too and pull that up. And we should be able to have this portion of the harness loosened up and good to go. Okay. Oh, thought I had anything loose down there. I guess not. Fail. Oh, sorry, let me show you guys where I'm at. So from the top of the engine, going down. So this is where we were just now, down there. That loose connector at the bottom. That's what we just did. So we gotta get this guy. This is where I'm getting caught up right now. Let's get that guy loose, and then we should be able to get this harness out of the way. Let's see if I can catch the struggle knife. You guys can tell by now, I love... Get the camera out of there. Probably right at the moment of truth too. You guys can tell by now, I love this weird screwdriver thing. There we go. Oh, we got something over here. Let's get that. Okay, so most of this harness is out of the way except for that one little wire. Let me get you guys in there. That looks like it's going to be a grounding wire of some sort. There we go. So we'll take this bolt off. That'll loosen up our wire. That's going right into the block. That doesn't feel like a sensor of any kind. It's probably got like a little eyelet style. So we'll get that loose and get that out. Okay, so grab your number 10 for your stray wire back here. Of course, I already stuck the ratchet to it, so. Bam, yep, eyelet style. I was gonna put that right back in there. Put it back in the hole. Elevator, go down the hole. I do want to make one observation that apparently I can lift a lot of weight, but I aren't real smart, drill sergeant. These fuel injector connectors I took out, and I think this was the throttle body. I can't remember what that was. Whatever. But the point is, we could have just removed this guy and left the fuel injectors alone, because we're not removing injectors or any of that part. Because all this up here is going to come out together as one piece. So probably could have just disconnected it down there, loosened up the little plastic piece. So if you haven't done this part and you're watching the video ahead of time, leave the injector parts alone. Now that I know that, is a map sensor, it looks like. That guy. Yeah, did not have to remove those. Okay, before I forget, let's get this fuel line out of the way. So I picked up a set of these. I forget how much they were, but I do remember I got them at Harbor Freight. Oh, wait, before I do all that, how about we relieve some fuel pressure, huh? Let's see if I can get that. Perfect. Little Schrader valve right there. You guys see it just kind of leaked out. And yeah, I did press it slowly and lightly so it didn't squirt in my face. Tried to get it on camera so you guys can see about how much you can expect. Probably got the wrong size there. Let's try a different one. Coming. There we go. Ta-da! I wasn't sure if there was a size on this little fuel line coupler thing or remover tool, but it looks like it says 3/8. Let's see if I can get a better shot of that. There we go, 3/8. That's the one I used to get that line off just now. It was a 3/8. So if you had, I don't know if there's an option to buy individuals or if you can buy a set like this, but I suppose at a minimum make sure there's a 3/8, and it'll make this part substantially easier. Okay, so under the vehicle, looks like there's easier access to some of this wiring. That I was going to do is I pull out the engine, but since there's easier access down here, Looks like, so this guy right here is just this tab, push in, and that comes out. We'll block the sun there so it doesn't mess up the camera. Let's see, looks like I gotta get this starter one. And it looks like I can get the fans while I'm down here. Oh, yeah. Okay, so for this one, I used the pick tool to lift this up. Once I lifted this up, I was able to pull this out. Here's the tool that I used. I literally just stuck that in there, up, and then I was able to pull it out. I did the same thing with the fan while I was at it. It spared me from using my fingers and hurting myself on the edge of the plastic there, but I just pulled this out, and then that connector came right out. I'll get you guys the size on the nut right here in a second, and I think that should be it for down here. I think the last connector we might have is that alternator one up there. That shouldn't be too bad. The one straight up there with the little boot. Oh, look at that. Using some AC bolts there. Get that. All right, let me get you guys the size on that starter nut, and then we'll get this thing chained up and start moving housing bolts and engine mounts. Okay, 13 is the one we will be using. Enhance. There we go. Let's get that baby on there. Hey, I feel like I need major pain right now. Hey, dummy, what's the matter? You blind? You can't see neither? Anyways, this one should have been left alone. Whoops. It's actually this top one that needs to come off. So let me get that one instead. And apparently I'm too stupid to just edit out the video. No, I gotta publicize to the world. And, what a dummy I am. Okay, should be good. Okay, so this is the starter. You do have to pull this out. I tried to pull the engine and I spilled some tranny fluid because some dummy, this guy recording the video, forgot to disconnect the torque converter. So I almost took the whole torque converter with me, but there's I don't think there's enough clearance for that. So anyways, these are, where are they? Bam. 15s. So the start, so it's two bolts. It's one on the bottom, and then the one on top. It's actually kind of hard to see when it's installed. So what you're gonna want to do is grab a couple of extensions, about yay long, and then put your 15 on there. It's a great video recording, as you can see. Yeah, put that on there, and then you can reach on the top of the solenoid when it's installed, and you'll be able to get that second bolt. I recommend getting the harder one first, and then leaving that one. Okay, so this giant hole is where the starter would be, and you see that hole there. Let me see with the pointy tool. So right there where my wrench would normally grab a bolt. So there's a number 18 there. Let me show you how to get to it. So I'm gonna rotate the engine, and I'll show you how I'm rotating the engine here. Probably going the wrong way. I'm gonna get yelled at in the comments. It's fine. Have at it, guys and girls. So there's 3 of them you need to get to. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. There we go. That's what one of them looks like right there. So you're gonna remove 3 of those, and that will separate the flywheel from the torque converter clutch. Now, to rotate the engine, you'll come over here, and that is I think I did a number 21. I'll grab the ratchet and socket. Yep, that's a 21. So hooked up 21 here, and just had at it. Just rotate it. When you rotate over here, when you rotate over here on this bolt, on this crank bolt, and rotate the flywheel over here until you expose your 3 flywheel to torque converter bolts. And you're only going to be able to do 1 at a time. And remember, this is where the starter goes, or was, I should say. So remove your starter, and you'll be able to get to these 3 18s. 3 of these bolts, number 18. So to number 18, and that's about how short they are. So you get 3 of those. You'll see when you try to get a ratchet and all that stuff up there. Well, I have a little swivel, so if you don't have one, I'd get a swivel ready if I were you. Okay, front passenger side. You're gonna grab your 15 and there we go. So I'm gonna do these 2 guys right here. These are actually attached to the engine, so we're going to take those off. Get your 15. That's 1, 2. Okay, next we're going to go after the housing bolts on the bottom. We're going to go to the top, secure the engine, and then we'll get the ones on the top. Rumor has it there's 9 of these housing bolts. We got a number 18. So I'm going to start with this one here. Actually, no, I'm going to do this one last at the bottom because this leads to a mount, actual. Looks like engine transmission mount in 1. So let's get to it. Okay, so I was able to loosen off 4 of these, no problem. There still hasn't been any crazy movement. In fact, I can finish taking these out right now, but I screwed them back in just a little bit by hand. 2, 3, and 4. Okay, let's see if I can track down the other 5. Secure this first, track down the other 5, get this, and then the engine mount on the other side. Oh, and yes, all 4 of them were 18s. Number 18, all 4 of them. Okay, so the mortar mount on this side, we got about 5, well, it's 3 bolts and 2 nuts. I was going to say 5 nuts and bolts, but anyway, these 3 right here were a 15. So you got these 3 loose with the 15. 1, 2, and 3. There I go, losing a bunch of tools. Okay. So you're gonna take those 3 out. As soon as you take those 3 out, depending on how much support you do or do not have, the engine's gonna drop just a little bit. So make sure you already have some kind of support, whether it's underneath, craned on top, all that good stuff. Okay, these 2 nuts, and I'm moving this out of the way so I can have more wiggle room. let's see, those are 18, so that's just 1 and 2. So both of those are 18s, and then this whole thing should come out. Oh. My engine already moved a little bit, shifted over a little bit, and there were in fact 9 of these housing bolts. When I get this removed, I'll show you guys the location of those, because there's a couple of them that were, actually like 3 of them I should say, they were pretty tricky, but once I got those 3, everything else was pretty cake. So that's all this. Okay, remember there's 9 of these housing bolts between the engine and transmission that need to come off. This is where your starter would be. So these are the 4 that we did at the bottom that were easy to do. 1, 2, 3, 4. Remember the bolts came in this way. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now the 3 that are funny, hard, whatever to do are going to be 1, 2, 3. These 3, once you get these 3 out of your way, everything else is pretty cake. So these 3 are, as you can see by the exhaust manifold. So they're going to be, so this is the thermostat. So they're really, really funny to get to, because you're, you know, reaching over, and they're damn near impossible to get from underneath. So you have to reach over and you got to feel for them, and it's all weird. So I try to give you guys as best and as many angles as I can out of that. These 2 are the last ones that I would leave for the very, very end. So I would go after the other 7 first. I would go after 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I would go after these 7 first, and then leave number 8 and number 9, these 2 top ones. And yes, these are the only 2 that are going in this direction. All the other ones are going in this way. So you're feeling for the heads of the bolts on this side, on the engine side. These 2, these 2 are going to be going in this way, in this direction. Anyway, hopefully that's helpful to you guys. It would have been a little more helpful to me if I had somebody break down exactly the locations of these. I mean, I ended up finding them. It just took me a little longer than I would have liked, but hopefully that was helpful. Okay, so as you can see, she's out. A couple things that I did to help me a little bit, or I wish I'd known, was remove the hood completely out of the way. There were 4 bolts. They were number 13. Let's see, there's a 13. So there's 2 here, 2 on the other side, and then loosen up these little struts, and then your hood will come right off. The other thing I would have done, or actually I'll probably do it before putting it in, is removing this plastic piece. It did bend a little bit. It's not a big deal, but remove this. And then the last thing, and the bigger thing I should say, I struggled a little bit, was with this transmission mount. Let me see if I can get a better shot of that. There we go. So they were all number 18s to take out. I'll show you where this was and why I did it. Let me get under the car here. So that was right here, right where that harness is, right where this is dangling. So right in this spot. And what was happening was there was such a tight fit to get this out. I needed just a little extra wiggle room to shift the transmission over to get the what I presume to be the input shaft, this guy. And you can kind of see where I scratched it up a couple times trying to get it out, and after fighting and fighting and fighting and fighting, finally gave up and was like, all right, I'll remove some more stuff that I didn't want to do. But as soon as I removed this guy out of the way, I was able to support the engine up top with the crane, and then as somebody was cranking up, I was able to pry this, and it just popped right out. You can also see on the other side here, see all that right there, that's fresh from me. You can even see like a little bend indent there on the frame. Wow, there's a lot of sun. That's really messing up my shot. There we go. The crank pulley on the other side, on this side, was actually lifting the entire car a couple times. I just could not get the clearance to get this out until I loosened this up and was able to just shift the transmission over just enough. No, I didn't have to support the transmission. It fell by maybe half an inch, if that. Did not fall much at all, but I would definitely, doing this job again. I'll remove this the first time around. Next time, I don't know if I'll ever do a job like this again, but if I do, at least now I know. But yeah, other than that, she's out. Let's see if I can get to the bottom of why I pulled this out. Hopefully it wasn't too much in vain. And yeah, hopefully this was helpful to you guys. And I hope you guys got something out of it. As you can see, I didn't have to remove the whole manifold. I just disconnected here. That came out fine. I loosened up just the throttle body. I probably could have removed it. That just helped a little bit, trying to pull it out. This was initially in the way a little bit, so I just kind of shifted that out of the way. But other than that, everything here, I'll give you guys a full 360 of what I did not have to remove or did remove to successfully pull this. And yes, I didn't. Oh, and no, I did not have to recover the AC system. That I just left it dangling. That worked out just fine. That worked out great. So AC still intact. I don't have to redo that. But yeah, I'll just do one more 360 for you guys, and then that'll be it for this video. Stay safe, everybody.